Hi, this is Ron Kubitz with the PHRA. I'm the Vice President of Membership and Diversity. Honored to be here today at the 66th Annual Conference with Dr. Shirley Davis.
Hi.
Shirley, very nice to meet you.
You too.
She is our keynote speaker here for this morning. And before we talk about your keynote a bit, you are the president of SDS Enterprises.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about SDS and their mission and goals?
Yes, actually SDS really stands for Shirley Davis Shepherd Enterprises. But it's really all about me being able to share my expertise and some of the experience that I've had over my 25 years in human resources. And what the firm does is it's actually a think tank, and it's a global thought leadership and content expertise firm that provides strategies and solutions to organizations about how to manage and lead in this, what I call VUCA world, a world of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And so with the world changing, this firm helps them to think about the trends and the strategies that can work.
Okay, great. Well, speaking of some trends and some strategies, you are doing the keynote this morning, and you're going to talk about inclusion and the importance of inclusion to a satisfied, more productive workforce. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. You know, it's very important that not only do we embrace the fact that the world has changed and there's a lot more diversity in the global workforce, but that as we build our organizations, our work environments, and our cultures, we need to be much more inclusive so that that diverse talent can come to work and feel appreciated, valued, and have equal access to opportunities inside of the organization. And so inclusion really is about how do we get all that diverse talent to work well together to achieve organizational success.
Great, and we're certainly looking forward to the presentation this morning. Now you mentioned 25 plus years in human resources, and looking at your background, you do have a book here, Reinvent Yourself, Strategies.
Just published this year.
Great, Strategies for Achieving Success in Every Area of Your Life. You have an accomplished history, HR, the executive in the financial world, in manufacturing. You're a keynote speaker and a pageant winner, which we'll discuss a little bit too. So you've had success, a minister, you've had success really in many facets of life. What do you attribute a lot of your success to?
I teach people this, and especially in my book on Reinvent Yourself, which I wrote as a compilation of life lessons and successes that I've had in my life, as well as some of my career life lessons. And it's important for people to understand early on what it is that they're supposed to do. You have to find your passion and your purpose in life and pursue it. So I really attribute a lot of my success to knowing what I was good at. I stayed in my lane. I stayed true to what I felt called to do while I'm here on this earth, and it's allowed me to utilize my strengths and to contribute everywhere I've went some success.
So just to spin off of that question, a lot of people, going back to your point, maybe have some roadblocks and they just give up.
That's right.
Have you had some times when you were like, oh geez, I just don't think this is going to work, maybe we should give up? What do you do? What do you advise others to do when they get in that situation to try to overcome those feelings and thoughts?
Thank you. That's a good question. And it's a lot of what I talk about in Reinvent Yourself is about that. So when life goes wrong, don't go with it. Or when you have setbacks, that you can always recover and you can get better and not get bitter. And so I talk about how do you reinvent yourself in your career when you've had financial setbacks, when you've had relationship breakups, or just when life just doesn't go well, that you can get better and recover from it.
Great. And since we're at it, how can we get this book?
Oh, it's on my website. It's available. I've got a couple copies here today. So, and I would encourage people to go online. You can download it as an MP3 file and listen to it on your iPod, or you can get a copy of it on audio or a book. So it's in all forms.
Great. I kind of jokingly said this morning, in one of the earlier questions about your pageant successes in the past. Doing some research, I noticed you were a Miss District of Columbia.
Former,
sure. Well, it could have been last week, too. But,
that's right.
Mrs. Oklahoma, Miss American United States in 2000. How did you get into pageants? What role did they play in your life, and what role did they continue to play in your life?
Yeah, I am. I consider myself really a pageant buff. I've been doing it since I was 13, so that's well over 25 years. And I started when I was in high school, and I found out through just one of my guidance counselors that there was a pageant that was going to be giving out scholarship money. And I thought, well, I love to speak and I'm good on the stage. I was modeling at the time as well, so I was, was very familiar with being in front of crowds. And I competed the first time ever and I got second runner-up. I thought, wow, I can do this. So I went back again. I practiced, I rehearsed, I got prepared, and came back the next year, won speech competition, won the interview competition, and won the ultimate competition. So I just got the pageant fever. But I'm a very competitive individual, and I love stage presence. I know I'm a great speaker, and I project well with other people, so pageants were a good fit.
Not on the list here, but any talents that you had to do in any of those pageants? Do you have any specific talents that you...
Yeah, so one was a speech competition.
Okay.
I actually sing. I've done monologues in the past as well. So I'm a varied amount of different talents.
Well, that's great. Well, we talked about Reinvent Yourself. From what I understand, you have an upcoming project book that you're going to be collaborating called Stepping Stones to Success with a lot of other great folks like Deepak Chopra, Jack Canfield, and others. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I got a call from their publisher, and they actually compile a number of experts in the area of leadership and success. And because of my book, Reinvent Yourself, I got the call to share some expertise. So I have a chapter in the book. As a matter of fact, coming in on a plane last night, I was editing my final draft, and it will be out the end of November.
Well, that's great. So we'll certainly look forward to that as well. Now, you mentioned the word success a lot. So from what I understand, you're known in many circles as the success doctor. How did you get that moniker, and can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily get it in my corporate career, but I have been coaching people for, over 20 years. Both in pageants. I still coach women today on stage presence and poise and professionalism, as well as I coach people personally on how to get a job, how to build their resume, how to interview, how to project, and building that executive presence. And because I have a PhD in business, and because I coach for success, it just kind of fit, the success doctor.
That's great. Now, you talked about working on the plane last night, and we were joking earlier that you're here today for our great conference, and then you're going to Orlando. I did some netting on your conference schedule, and between now and the end of the year, where most of us are maybe winding down a bit, you have like 15 different speaking engagements. So how do you juggle all that? And when you're not doing that, what do you like to do in your spare time?
It's like, do I have a life? Yeah, I speak about 50 to 60 times a year. And so you asked me earlier about my passion and my purpose. That's what I'm called to do. I love it. I love to share global trends. I love to talk about strategies for success and building organizational strategies. But I've got 15 more left, but I recognize that the fall conference is it's a busy and a hectic time. I committed to these nearly a year ago, but as I was sharing earlier, I just embrace it and I breathe. And what I do in my spare time is I love to go to the water and relax. I love to take in fresh air. I power walk 2 or 3 miles a week. I love to do that in a nice wooded area of a park where I can really take it in, have some privacy. And then I'm an HGTV junkie. So that's a great day for me to sit on the couch, veg out, and just watch HGTV International, House Hunters International. I like to just travel and dream about places that I want to go visit.
Well, good. Well, hopefully you'll get some of that time coming up.
I will.
And we're certainly honored to have you here today. We're looking forward to your presentation, so we can certainly learn a lot from you. So thank you very much for your time.
It's my pleasure.
And look forward to listening to you here shortly.
It's good. And have them go to my website, drshirleydavis.com. Very simple, and they can get the book and learn a lot more about me. Thank you so much.
drshirleydavis.com. Thank you.